So it felt like it's a bit stronger on northeast here. I'm drifting very so slightly towards it and then keeping my turn, so I adjusted very little bit. You can see in the brakes that I released a little bit, like I'm releasing here just a touch, and weight shifting to do this maneuver here. It's really small, don't know if you can see it in video, but I'm gonna stay in wind here a bit and turn again. So I'm compensating for the wind drift with these little adjustments so I don't fall out downwind of it. And it seems to be a bit more here on my sort of right, at around 5 degrees to my right. 1650, pushing into the wind again. Flow is climbing with Enzo there, but he's a bit far outside. By the time I get there, he'll be too high and I might miss the cycle. Okay, I mean 1630 is not the best to do, so I'm drifting downwind now. Just I have some bubbles, so I'm gonna try to turn into it, and I'm gonna head to the next ridge towards south, as we have clouds there and wind is from northwest dominantly, and if I have a good glide I can connect to the ridgeline here in front where the fields are there, and of course use any lift on the way. And this one felt like lift, but it was probably beginning of the next one. Yeah, there it is on the right, but I'm gonna go left and then drift towards the right side. So do this and then drift towards southwest here to my left, hand up, right hand is up, left hand is just a touch to keep moving. Now right weight shift, control the movement of the wing. I'm at 1600. Okay, now I'm committed because I ain't gonna make it back. I have to clear the gorge on the seas and a bit of a bar till next bubble. 1565 altitude absolute, about 700 meters above ground here. Let's see if I can connect to these next ones. Glide ratio is not super good, speed is good, 60 km an hour. Now glide ratio as well, 1 to 10. Just a little bit of control on the wing. And we have these clouds on the right here towards the southwest. Seems like a better option today than going north, so I'm heading south instead. Flow is at 1587 according to live track on XC Contest. Now I'm 630 meters above landing zone, official Chabre landing zone here, and keep going forward. Okay, adding bar more. What is that? About 75-80%, and let fly, lean back. Okay, maybe. I'm gonna, feels like it's on the left. I'm gonna go left, maybe right. Yeah, right. So slowly turning right. And then I'm gonna drift with the wind now towards the southeast in this turn. A bit, very gentle inputs, maximum efficiency. Maybe left. Okay, let's try left. Flow is joining me. Well, he has the privilege of flying a 2-liner Enzo, and I'm on a 3-liner Cure 2. So if he sees me climbing, it makes sense for him to make a jump because he has so much more performance in the wing, and also he's flying a higher weight range. with a lot of ballast. That was the edge of the thermal on the right side, so I'm moving a bit more on the left into the wind a bit. There's the center. Still quite tight, this thermal. It's not very wide, but it's not super strong. It's only like almost 2 meters a second, so I'm not banking too much. If it would be 3.5, 4, I would bank more. Flow is coming, so I'm gonna drift downwind. Feels like it's downwind a bit. Yeah, on my left here. Also the cloud is stronger towards east here, so just a bit more research. Yeah, seems to work. And I'm actively controlling the outside wingtip to keep it as little brake as possible, but also to keep the turn exactly as I want. So it seems like I'm a bit out of it. Flow is, what is that? Maybe 100 meters under me. And I've gained 160 meters in this last thermal since I started. I'm reaching 1600 meters. Also, nice little tip, my right leg is holding on the first step of a speed bar. I'm not accelerating, but it's just there if I need to, and my left leg is holding the pod out straight. Okay, seems like 1650 is the inversion layer limit summit, maybe? Oh, there we go. It's on the right, so I'm braking both because this is stronger. Slowing, yep, it's 4.5. So I can use more brakes, because then the inefficiencies doesn't matter as much because the thermal is strong enough, so it's more important to stay in the center. That's what I'm doing here. Yeah. So to accelerate the turn, I release outside sometimes more than adding inside, so I have the same amount of input and try to turn without losing efficiency too much. And I base it on pressure, not percentage, not length or whatever. It's all how I feel in the lines, which sometimes are a lot more inside, like here I release, and then outside and inside brake. Hoppa, went out of it. Oh, that's a spin point. Interesting. Maybe I need to accelerate the wing. Could be just the edge of the thermal. We'll have to check on the ground. Okay, I'm reaching 1800 meters, highest altitude today, and strongest thermal as well. So that was a good idea to follow the clouds and move towards the cloud shows the most lift. Also, if you look north now, it's all kind of dark and hazy. There's stronger inversion, and if we're looking south, it's more open with nicer cummies. So that's why I changed. Originally I wanted to go north, but on takeoff I changed my mind because the southeast looks a lot better. And now the wind here is only 5 kilometers northwest after 1800, so I think it accelerates under the inversion layer. Once you're a bit higher, then the meteo wind is not that strong today. But did I lose it, or is it over? It's not over for sure because cloud is higher, so I have to find it. There it is. So I'm drifting here, just releasing brakes a bit and turning again. Flo got it as well. He's climbing with me. He's slower than me, but he's not too far. So on this turn again I just released a little bit more towards the southeast, a bit sooner, and each turn very tiny little adjustments to adjust for the center of the wing with as little inputs as possible. Yeah, so this seems to be the strongest part, but upwind side still works. It might not be the most efficient way to thermal, but this way I don't fall out downwind, and if I fall out upwind, it's always easy to get back in. So I prefer to sniff around over a few turns to make sure I don't take it too far downwind. Also, it's early in the flight. I'm still learning about the day's conditions and how the thermals feel. Woohoo! I just broke the 2000 meter mark. Yeah, buddy! In March 4th, it's my first cross country of 2023. Boy, I miss this place. Ah, so nice. Oh, and that sound of Moria. Constant 2 meters a second, super smooth. Oh, can't wait for the rest of the season. Oh man, so nice. Found the center more or less. Now I went a bit too much on the edge, so for a few turns sometimes I do nothing, I just go with it, and now that I feel like I lost it, I'm going a bit upwindish, a bit more to east, so to compensate for the turn radius as I go towards the into the wind, west, southwest and south. And I'm reaching the base. I'm at 2170, so cloud base is probably 2.3, 2.4. There's the center. I'm staying into the wind a touch longer than before, and too long. Alright, so a bit sharper downwind, a bit more weight shift, and drift downwind here. I'm staying, and going. Anticipating the lift, and it's there. There it is, and this time nice and sharp. Looks like I'm on climbing flow, but I'm also higher, and he has to deal with inversion. So I got slowed down around 1600, 1650, and on XC contest, yep, that's exactly what it shows, 1655 for flow. So that's where I slowed down as well, and once I got around 1750, I start climbing. So now we know that between 1600 and 18 is the slow section of the day so far. So both of us for the future of the day should stay above 1800 meters, not to get stuck in the slow air again. But once, as we took off at about 1350 meters, we had no choice, we had to go through that. Again, I drifted downwind a bit too much. So into the wind more or less, west-northwestish, yeah, that's more, wind is a bit more to the right. And turn before Warrior stops beeping usually. Now we are at 225, so 2250. It seems like it's slowing down, so I would say today's strongest part is between 1800 to 2200 roughly. Now we have another 200 meters to go to the base, and now it's the decision making. Should I go to the base and spend time in lighter lift, or should I go to the next trigger? Now, middle of summer, when you have 4, 5, 6 meters a second, I would say leave it and go for next one. Now, because it's March and the cloud base is only 2.4ish, I'll see if I can get to it. Plus, I really enjoy the wispy things above my head. Clouds are amazing, and the privilege of flying in spring, you know, in this area at least, there's nobody in the air. There's Flo under me, but he's some, what is that? 500 meters lower than me. But it doesn't seem to be wanting me to go up there. Alright, so I go next to following this ridgeline, speed bar in, relaxing my left leg and holding the pod with the right, and heading towards the next trigger. Okay, so I've got another 3.5, 2.5, 3. So I'm gonna use it. Often it happens to me that I'm like, okay, I should get to the base, it doesn't work, let's go to the next one, and as I start transitioning, I get another bubble. No, I'm not picky, I'll take any bubble. Well, this one turn gave me 35 meters. What a beautiful, beautiful spring day, early spring. And sometimes I'll pull the brake closer to the helmet to induce a bit more the wingtip. As you can see, the wing is, and that makes the turn a bit more tight, and it kind of grabs the edge, center of thermal a bit more, and the middle of the wing is not as much induced, which gives the wing a bit more performance and sometimes more efficient turn. Okay, Flo is transitioning. I guess he gave up on the thermal, and he's doing that at 1750. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see. I'm sure he'll get something. He's a good pilot, done a lot of flying. He's also teaching beginners. If you wanna learn paragliding in French or English, Flo's your man. I guess if you're watching this video, you already know how to fly, but you might have a friend who wants to learn. Okay, I'm at, Cloudwise is higher. It's about probably 2550, 2006, because right now I'm at 2450. Flo is having an amazing glide. He's lost like 20 meters and he's now under me. Impressive. I mean, Enzo, no, not really surprising, but it's still impressive. Yeah, he's following the ridgeline, as you should. As with the down low there, it's west-northwest, and dynamically, plus the sun is already on that side, so he's pushing forward, which is cool for me now. If he overtakes and goes forward, gets a climb, all I need to do is fly above him and get the same climb. Makes my life so much easier. Oh, it's really dark and hazy north of here, so yeah, heating needs to be turned on a bit at this altitude. I took 6 different batteries, 3 each glove, at a lot of amperage, so I should be able to fly for about 10 hours or like 7 at maximum heating. As far as time I'm wearing these gloves, we'll see how they hold up. Right now I feel a bit of a freeze on my left hand, so I'm gonna put maximum temperature on both to get the heating going fully. And the batteries is inside of my jacket, close to my body, to keep the temperature good. And there's a cable going that you saw at the beginning of the flight to the glove. Alright, now it's kinda light, speed bar out, push to the peak here, see what happens. Every time I go on the glide, I close the helmet as I increase my speed, so is the wind chill and wind that goes to my face. Then I open it up in the thermal and a little crack. Okay, let's add a bit more speed bar just for training purposes. As I'm going slightly downwind, I don't really need 80%, but Flo's ahead of me and he's in the 2-liner, so I better keep up. It's not a competition, it's a friendly flight together. Oh, what a beautiful day. So there's a little wispy cloud there, but these ones are nicer in front, so I'm gonna go to the peak here where the flow is down there, is near the snowy bits. Oh, the peak should work, then I drift with the wind to that cloud, connect to the system ridge and make my way east. Currently going at about 48 k's an hour. Speed bar is about 90%ish. Trying not to put any pressures on the seas or brakes, looking up, wing looks good, trailing edge is clean. Flow has a really nice line, and in that line I can see that he's contouring wind from his right, kind of the same what I'm doing here at the higher altitude. And down low there's gonna be volley flow from this coming in from the west, northwest from there. It all meets down there where he is right now. What a beautiful place to be for him. Those trees with no leaves, nice snow under, white wing on top. Paragliding is incredibly beautiful. Okay, so I'm lost about 200 meters, so it's not the most efficient line. It's about 1 to 7, 1 to 10 now meters glide, going about 47 k's an hour. Can't tell you how much I weigh and where I am in the wing loading. I haven't checked that. I would assume I'm somewhere in the middle of the range, so not fully loaded, not very heavy. My setup is quite light with all the electronics. Alright, he has reached the peak, but the peak is in the shadows, so that's going to be interesting to see. But I have enough height to go straight to the next ridge and see what I can do there. If I see him climb, I'll climb. If I don't, I go straight forward. But I'm starting to get some turbulence, and that is not lee side of anywhere, so the only thing it can be is a thermal nearby. So far he just crossed the ridgeline and keeps pushing forward, so also makes sense, it's all in the shadow, so I'll do the same. But he's now at 1580 meters and I'm still about 450 meters above him, so he needs to avoid the mountains there, so that's why he's going left a bit. I'm gonna still push like this for a bit to the cloud, and then once I reach the next ridge line I'll start going left. He doesn't have the privilege as he's a bit lower, by about 500 meters lower than me. Yeah, he's still showing me 1518. 400 meters lower. Oh, that's Enzo. I have cleaner air, I have less resistance, and yet he's flying with a better glide than I do. It is what it is. But I have a lot nicer passive safety. Oh, he's turning. So okay, so there's sunshine and a gorge, so I'm gonna drift towards left with the wind, see if I can catch that. That's this cloud in front of me.